Very lovely and beautiful to be together, to be nobody in particular, just to be that which we are, the recognition of our true self, which knows itself effortlessly, as love, as beauty, as tenderness, understanding, compassion. We are that. I am that. I is that. So we recognize each other as oneself, as myself, as the only self. We come together around this love, around this understanding, around this interest, which is our calling, recognition of this calling, the lifting of the veil of separation, the path beyond the illusion of limitation and personhood. We are not interested in images of ourselves or images of each other. Rather, the inner fire, the inner flame, the inner passion for peace and love, which is never for oneself, because there is no separate self in actuality, no separation in reality. So we never truly leave oneself, never truly leave each other. In truth, never apart. I and thou is just the one I, the one reality. And I navigate life moment by moment with that understanding, open to that understanding, that my brother is myself, that I am my brother's brother, and that, in fact, I is the formless, borderless reality that perceives not just at this particular mind level, but across all minds. I animate all minds like the ocean animates all waves, which are the creation of the ocean, waves and currents, bubbles on the surface of the ocean are the creation of the ocean. Similarly, my experience, I am the reality out of which perceptions and mentations and sensations arise like my dreams arise within the dream mind of my own creation. As such, there is nothing apart of this reality. There's nothing apart from being. The I is indivisible. And as such, there is nothing at stake. Nothing that is not your very self. Nothing that is not your very being. So I sink deeply in that understanding. I am open for that understanding, and thy grace be done. It is done already. It is done. So meditation is the ocean, doing nothing in particular, and yet nothing is done without it. Being nothing in particular and yet nothing exists without it. All aspects of creation are this meditation. The source of all activities, the source of mind, the source of perception, universes and worlds is meditation. The understanding that there is no me and not me, that all is the self, without borders, formless being, formless awareness. The undeniability of presence, the undeniability of awareness. Without any personal impression. Meditation is your very essence, the ground of being. There is no one in meditation who is seeking anything, trying to attain anything or improve anything. Because in meditation, there is no meditator. There is no personal self. Rather, as you relax into being, all what remains and all what is being. And being is not being somebody. It's not a personal beingness. Meditation is Satchitananda, being awareness, the undeniable reality of being as I am, and the undeniable reality of I am aware. That is sufficient. Because in being awareness, there are no issues. There is no time, past and future. No past history. Being awareness is the eternal now. In which there are no expectations, no conditions. No regrets, nothing lacking. nothing opposing anything. In being, there is nothing that you need to figure out. The understanding is about I, the reality which perceives right now. It's not an object. An object does not perceive. It is I which is a word to speak of this noumenal, formless reality. Which is all-knowing but unknowable as a phenomenal form. Yet you know yourself, you know you are. I knows itself. Effortlessly. There is no seeking. So what is it, if anything, and who is it, if anyone, who is seeking anything in meditation or otherwise? Here you are, full and complete, nothing lacking. And yet, you compose a script that says, I need this or that in order to be happy. You compose a script that you adopt as your reality. You adopt the belief that I am lacking, that something is missing, that things, whichever way you define things, should be otherwise or shouldn't be the way they are. It's a mental chaos. Which is your own choosing, your own creation. Because you already are meditation. You already are perfection. But you look onto images and thoughts of a so-called past and images and thoughts of a so-called future. And you compose a script, a narrative about happiness. While in this moment of presence, of being, there is no narrative, no room, there is no space for a narrative in the eternity of now. It is full and complete. You can squeeze another ocean into the ocean. It's full and complete. Your body is the universe. Your mind is infinite. Your being is absolute and eternal. What is it that you lack? How could there be any lack in the now? Don't imagine yourself to be somebody. You don't need to imagine yourself to be somebody, to feel yourself to be somebody. You don't need to. Simply perceive whatever appears as it appears. Images on the screen, the sound of these words. And stay with the meaning, the silent meaning, the silent understanding, the I am. Okay, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please make sure you unmute yourself and turn on your video so we can see each other. So any comments, questions, anything you would like to discuss?
Magdi,
Yes, hello, Nika.
in a sense, you made this until now, but could you speak more about awareness, being aware of awareness?
Yes. Now, first to be clear, awareness refers to the reality which perceives right now. So obviously it's already on board, it's already operating. I perceive. So whenever you turn your attention towards reality, you're turning your attention towards awareness, towards a reality which perceives. Your attention is the attention of I, the attention of awareness. So when you turn your attention in any direction, you're turning the attention of awareness. You, awareness, are turning your attention. In other words, awareness is turning its attention whichever way it chooses. So being aware or turning your attention towards awareness is turning your attention away from objects. Not that there is any issue or problem with objects. There is no problem with the oak tree in the yard. There is no problem with perceptions. There are appearances, no issue. There's no issue. But turning your attention towards awareness is turning your attention not towards an object, but towards the reality of the object. So you're turning your attention towards attention itself, towards the source of attention. I perceive a tree. What is it that perceives? I perceive. So I turn my attention towards I, towards that which perceives, which is not an object. In your experience, you perceive objects. You perceive thoughts, memories, images of your family, images of your parents, images of New York City. You perceive thoughts and images. You perceive objects. You perceive bodily sensations. So what is it to turn your attention away from perceptions? What is it to turn your attention away from memories and thoughts, and feelings and sensations, objects? When you are quiet and still and not interested in pursuing any thoughts or pursuing any events, you don't disappear. Not only I am when I'm perceiving, in other words, not only awareness is in the presence of objects, but awareness is in the absence of objects. So turning your attention towards awareness, or awareness turning its attention towards awareness, is the understanding that awareness is in the absence of objects. So when you ask yourself, am I aware? You don't go to any object to get an answer to your question. You don't go to memory. You don't go to your priest or your rabbi. You don't go to any sensations in the body. When you ask yourself, am I aware? You're not going to any object. But yet, you get an answer. Yes, I am aware. This answer did not come from any object. It came from awareness itself. Because you have an ongoing experience as awareness, because I is awareness. So awareness is and knows it is. in the absence of objects.
So it's, for example, deep sleep is a kind of awareness, but there are no objects.
In deep sleep is one of the three states: the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Those three states are states of the body-mind. In deep sleep is a very low, very low level of objects. It is not the complete absence of objects. It's like anesthesia. The body is not dead, but it is a very, very dimmed down, like a dimmer, dimmed down the lights. So deep sleep is not awareness being completely objectless. We use it sometimes in the teaching. We refer to deep sleep in some cases as a metaphor to consciousness without objects. But not right now. I will not use that metaphor right now because your question is very directed, very pointed, very clear about deep sleep. No, in this case, deep sleep is an approximation, is the closest you can get, but still at the mind level state, the mind level, to the awareness in its purity. A better example of awareness in the absence of objects is the experience of understanding. For example, when you hear a joke, somebody is telling you the joke, and you're listening to the joke, which is at the mind you're listening. But at some point, they say the punchline. When you hear the punchline, then there is an understanding, and you laugh. So the understanding is where the mind stops. You got all the pieces of information, and that final piece of information, there is understanding. And at that moment, there are no objects. And after the understanding, objects arise again. You may say, oh, I get it. That's really a great joke. I love it, etc. Another way we speak about awareness in the absence of objects is the fact that there are two thoughts. One thought is, I love New York City. And the other thought is, I'm going to have a salad for dinner. So these are two different thoughts. If they were one thought, then you could not speak of, I love New York City and I want to have salad for dinner tonight. There are two thoughts. Between the two thoughts, there is a gap. The end of the first thought, boom, the gap, meaning no thought, and then the next thought, a gap, a third thought, etc. The gap is the absence of thought, but it's not the absence of awareness. You don't disappear. between thought A and thought B. The thought disappears, but you, awareness, you don't disappear. So the gap is I am is shining without, in the absence of thought, of objects. So in terms of your question about turning your attention, or how to know that awareness is aware of itself, first you have to come to complete clarity about the consciousness is in the absence of objects. And then from there, you can then come to the next understanding that also in the presence of objects, in the presence of thoughts, the presence of bodily sensations, I am, awareness is. There can be no perception, no thought without awareness. So first we need to come to the clear understanding that awareness is in the absence of objects. That's an important understanding. If you don't come to this understanding, we may fall in the wrong understanding, wrong conclusion that consciousness depends on objects. Yes?
Yes.
So I am aware right now, not just I am aware of this perception of hearing these words, but also I'm aware that I am. I'm aware that I am does not refer to I am aware of hearing these words. I am aware that I am means I am aware that I am and that I am aware. It has, irrespective of objects. There is a strong bias in the human culture towards the materialist model that consciousness is the result of the brain, or the idealist model where consciousness is the result of the mind, arises from the mind. Because there has not been clarity in the human understanding about consciousness being independent of objects, being independent of the world, being independent of the mind.
Yes.
So is consciousness, awareness is not an object. It's not a concept. There is a concept, of course, that says awareness, but the concept refers to that which is not a concept. Awareness is, consciousness is not something you experience as you experience an earthquake, or as you experience a sunrise or a sunset, right? It is the reality which perceives. But the reality which perceives does not depend on its perception. That which is perceived depends on the perceiver. But that which perceives does not depend on anything, does not depend on its perceptions. Like in your night dream, you dream of beautiful butterflies. The butterflies, they need you to dream them. But you don't need the butterflies. You don't need to dream. You can dream, of course, butterflies, pink elephant, but you don't need to dream. They need you to dream them in order to appear. And they appear because you dream them. They don't have they're not waiting. They're not waiting somewhere, sending you letters. Please, Mina, it's my turn, it's my turn. No, they don't exist.
But that's when I put this in the waking state. So I am awareness, and I am perceiving all as awareness. But I am thinking that I am Mina, and I'm perceiving everything as Mina. And then on top of them, I am thinking that Mina is looking for consciousness. Where is consciousness? But
Right.
that will never be the case, because Mina is the butterfly that is
Yes.
looking for who is dreaming me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
very funny.
We dream we are the butterfly. There is I think it was Chuang Tzu, a Taoist sage, who said, last night I dreamt I was a butterfly, but I don't know if I was dreaming I'm a butterfly or if I am a butterfly dreaming that I am
A human.
Yeah. It was Chuang Tzu, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
We are neither the human nor the butterfly. They are both forms. So the thought that I am Mina is a thought and a belief.
Yes.
Which we create because it's not coming from another planet. They're coming and they're planting the thoughts in your idea, in your mind. No, I is the reality. There is a reality. This reality we refer to as I. We can refer to it in other names, it doesn't matter, but we say I. Body is something else. Body is female, male, 150 pounds, 5 foot 6 tall, but we don't say, as we call the body. But I is something else. I is reality. I, we say. So this I that we refer to as reality, then we say, okay, well, it is me, Mina. It is I, Mina. So this reality decides you as this reality. You decide I am Mina, but you're not Mina. I mean, you're, but you decide I am Mina, and I'm going to try to figure out what I am.
Yes.
As Mina. I'm going to try to figure out what I am.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
you hide something under the bed. And then you play. Let me see if I can find out where I hid it. But
So
so
as Mina, I will never find consciousness or awareness.
no,
But
yeah.
As awareness, I will find out
No,
that I am awareness.
you already are.
Yes.
As
yes.
awareness, you will find out that you are not Mina.
Yes. Oh. Yes, because there is always this rest thinking of there will be no enjoyer of this last point. It's like Icarus, who was flying to the sun, and at the end he was burning by the sun.
Yes. The burning by the sun is right now. We burn now in the sun of consciousness, of truth, of reality. So now is not a moment in time. Now is not, oh, there is going to be later. Yes. Or there is no later. In now, there is just being, just nowness, being. There isn't, oh, what's next? And our experience is now. Our reality is this nowness, this what we call beingness, nowness, is the eternity of nowness. But then I thought that people, what about later? So now we're playing the game of time, of now and later. We play the game of later. Say, oh, later, if I do this and that and that and that, and later will be like this and like that. And so we introduce somebody's going to do something. I don't know, somebody. We're going to say a dream. We're going to bring a dream character and say we're going to make it. So we're going to write a script of what we're going to do. We're going to meditate. We're going to climb Mount Everest. We're going to do mantra. We're going to smoke incense. And then there will be beautiful, I don't know, beautiful sunrise. So now we are busy. You see, now we are busy. We're very busy. Don't bother me. I'm very busy. I'm planning my future. So I have because I'm gonna be so happy tomorrow. I'm gonna be so happy. I have a beautiful idea. And so I have all the pieces. I'm missing one piece. I have all the pieces, but I'm missing one piece. And I cannot find this piece, you see, this one piece. So I'm going to try a new meditation thing with yoga, and I'm going to do these like this and that. And I think if I do travel, maybe I travel, and I get that one piece that's missing, you see. And so I'm getting closer to it. I feel I'm getting closer, but I also feel there's another piece that's missing. I thought it was one, but I think it's two now. So you see how we are very busy. Very busy. Why? Well, because I believe in this me in time. So, but in fact, in our experience, it's just being, right? There isn't like before or later. So peace and happiness, it cannot be later. No. So when Mina comes and says, oh, if only I get to understand as awareness and I get it, that's a game you are playing, you see. You, consciousness, you're playing the game of the illusion, the self-illusion. This is why we say there is no real suffering. There's no real suffering. It's self-hypnosis. 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 You know, I am lacking, missing, I am a separate being, I am the son and the daughter, I am the mother, I am the father, I am. This is why we say, I am, but I don't know what I am. And that is good, perfect, perfect. Not to know what I am. Because I am is sufficient. It is sufficient. It is, love is sufficient. You don't need to say, you don't need to make a philosophy about love. It's sufficient. Beauty, peace is sufficient. The I am is sufficient.
Oh, oh wow, beautiful.
Yeah. And I already is. So it's a done deal, you see. Just don't add I am
This and this.
somebody.
Yes.
Is the magnificence of being, the peace of being. We are not seeking experiences. That's ridiculous. We're just enjoying being, and being is taking on this form right now of this beautiful conversation. So we're enjoying how the ocean moves, you know, how the ocean moves, whichever way it moves. I have no attachment to how the ocean moves or to the weather. The weather should be sunny, should be like this, should be like that. But this body mind likes warm weather, so I moved to California. But I is the freedom, you see. Somehow with the flow, it unfolds this way. Sometimes here we are together. Sometimes we are out in the market buying some food for dinner. Sometimes we are driving to go visit a friend. So we enjoy life because life is an expression of beauty, of love.
Yes, and especially when this I that I thought I am moves out of the way.
Yes. You know, you don't need to believe in Santa Claus all your life. The thought about Santa Claus may appear to you. Oh, Santa Claus. I remember Santa Claus, but you no longer believe in it. It's not a problem. Santa Claus is not a problem. But believing in Santa Claus is a problem. That there is a reality called Santa Claus. There is a reality called me.
Yes.
So it's about the understanding. Understanding. And then we live the understanding. Until the understanding is sort of living itself. Maybe when you was young, you saw Santa Claus was not real. You saw your uncle, you know, wearing the beard and all that. But maybe you forgot the next year you were hoping, you know, maybe a beautiful gift, you know. But after 2 or 3 years, yeah, you know, okay.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay, lovely to be with you. Yes.
Yes, very lovely to be with you.
Hi, Magdi.
Hello.
Hi there.
Yes.
I mean, it was a wonderful, lovely exchange and wonderful meditation that you did. Just, I was watching a talk given by Swami Sripananda, and he was giving an example of this guy that was a fantastic orator, always winning the argument, always proud of himself and feeling really great and always happy with that. And then all of a sudden one day he's very sad. And this one of his followers was asking him, Master, what's wrong? Why are you sad all of a sudden? Mm-hmm. And he said, you know, I had this dream. I was having a competition with this other guy. And he just beat me to it. It was fantastic, you know. And I just can't understand how I lost this thing in the dream. I don't know. So this guy says, Master, it's all you. The other one in the dream is you. Yes. And you is you. So together you have all the knowledge of everything, you know. So he had it and he became quite happy. You know? Yes. So it's kind of, we tend to separate everything, even in the dream, you know, of the dreamer and all the characters there. Yes. And we invent this fighting, this competition and things, while actually we all one.
It's all me, yes.
All is complete, it's all me. Absolutely. All this reality is me.
Absolutely.
Taking shape as different things, but it's all me.
Yes.
This sharing, this outpouring of love is incredible.
Yes, that's
when it's this understanding.
Yes.
There's this understanding.
Yes.
So I just wanted to, it's kind of goes along with what we exchanged today about the oneness of expression, of being.
Yes, thank you, Nathan. That's, yes, very true. It's all me. And we are, you know, we are everything and everybody. You know, we can be sweet, we can be mad, we can be angry, we can be, we are all of it. But that's the manifestation, you know, like the ocean is all waves and no waves, the big waves, the small waves, a tsunami. It's all the ocean. It's all the ocean. But the ocean is not divided into, into separate, into separate. They're not separate. All of it, it's all me. Yes, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, yes. There is a humility too in this understanding that it's all me. Sometimes we feel like something special about us. Yeah, of course it's special. Everything is so special. Everything is special. It's fantastic. Light. Perceiving, sensing. A grain of sand. The wind. It's all so magical. Yeah, but there is no no one better than anyone. There's no. Yes. So, and to live with that, inviting yourself to live that understanding. Yeah. When everybody and everything is me, then there is nothing and everything. Nothing is everything, and everything is nothing. I am no one and I am everyone. So different from being somebody,
Yes.
I remember being somebody. I remember there was a lot of agony in being somebody. But in time we hear the teaching, when we hear the teaching, we hear it. We can only hear the teaching because we are ready to hear it. Otherwise it's just Chinese, We hear it. When we hear the teaching, then the mechanism starts to, it's like when you're breaking in the safe, press these buttons and you hear, then the last button you hit, you start hearing the mechanism start going, it's like everything's starting to, when we hear the teaching, things start to align themselves. And in time, the opening opens more and more.
And it grows the love for the truth.
Yeah?
It grows the love of the truth.
Yes.
It works by itself.
Yes.
And it just grows and grows and grows.
Yes.
It's filled with light, with understanding, with absolute love for it. Yes.
Yes. Yes. We become interested, and eventually we fall in love with the truth. And when we in love with the truth, we love with everything, because everything is a truth. Everything becomes the path. Everything becomes an opportunity. Everything becomes a learning, a teaching, an opportunity for us we love everything, because what is not the truth, you see? So we become truth lover, and what they say, wherever your eyes fall is God's face, God's being.
Beautiful.
And we come together here because we are simpatico for our love for truth is what really we love, So we come together as such dear friends in the deepest sense.
Magdi, it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, Nathan, thank you. Okay. Okay, Gisela, nice to see you. So,
Yeah.
yes. Any questions? Okay, well, if there are no questions, I thank you all. Always very lovely to see you and to be with you and to share with you and to listen to you. We are learning together and really in love. Mina, Holger, Nathan.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Walter. Frank, you're upside down. Richard, George, and George, Holly, hey Malcolm, Grace, Doug, Lucas, Zoe, John,
Thank you, Magdi.
hey Zoe, Desmond. Lovely to be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi. Thanks, everybody.